Hi, Alyssa.
Hey, Katie.
Welcome to episode 342, Listing Prep and Tips for Agents Before the Seller is Ready. Our working titles need some work.
We maybe need to figure out what our titles are before we record.
But you can't, because we take what we talk about and then use it to inform the title.
I know.
So if we were scripting, which if you're new here, that's never the case.
No.
If we were scripting, then yeah, you could do the title before.
Yeah, but we don't know the title yet.
We have a direction, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as much as we have, and some notes.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about, I know what. Why don't you just start with why did you want to talk about this?
So this is sort of like podcast therapy for me. I needed a little bit of a mindset boost.
Right.
Okay. You know, I like to operate in an efficient manner.
Very efficient.
Efficient. I'm in and out of stuff.
Would you say you're efficient to a fault?
Yes.
Sometimes.
This is where the fault comes in.
Okay.
Because, example, I'm at something for my kids, and one of the parents there was like, hey, we're not looking to move really anytime soon, but we would like you to come by and tell us like what we should be working on in the next year or so in preparation.
Yeah.
And a little piece of me just felt like it wanted to die.
A little piece of you died inside.
And I thought to myself, well, that's not the spirit, Alyssa. You should be so excited.
Yeah, I think maybe the best way to put your frame of mind right is you want to be the first agent that they see in person in this, situation, right?
Yes.
So if you're just like, oh yeah, get back with me later.
I know.
I don't think that that's going to be it, because the next person that hears them say that is going to be like, oh, well, I'll come over on Monday.
Yes.
We'll walk through the house. We'll get you a list, because they're going to be an agent out there that's going to hustle it harder.
Correct. And then I went to Katie and was like, I wish I had like a checklist. We have all these cool checklists, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe we need one for when the sellers are like a year out.
Mm-hmm.
That things that you have to do at least some of these things. Because we have the preparing for photos checklist, but that's for people who are
really close.
Yeah. And then I thought to myself, no, Alyssa, this doesn't need to be a checklist. This needs to be you going to their house, forming the relationship,
Providing a
service, doing the walkthrough, helping them make a list, and then keeping in touch until they're ready.
You're like, oh, dang it.
So it can't be a free checklist?
So as it turns out, you are a service-based business.
I know.
At some point in time, you have to provide the service. Look, not that sending a checklist isn't service.
Sure.
But the relationship part is crucial. It would be the same thing, honestly, look at it this way, as you have a buyer, you get them under contract, and then you pass them off to some sort of TC or team member and you never talk to them again.
That'd be so sad.
Well, that's when you build the relationship.
I know,
you're right. The seller is the other end. You're building it before the listing. You see?
Yeah, see, this is the mindset shift I
just
needed.
Picture it like you would never offload your contract to closing process.
No.
Well, you definitely don't want to do that with your pre-listing process.
Right.
Okay, great. We solved it. Episode over.
The end.
We fixed your problem.
Have you ever stared at a blinking cursor trying to write an email to a client and thought, why is this so hard?
That's why we created Email Templates, a series of emails written for you by us. Real agents, not AI.
You'll have an email to send your client at each part of the process, so they have all the information they need when they need it.
And you answer their questions before they even have time to ask.
The template package comes with 12 buyer and 13 seller templates, plus 6 supporting attachment documents.
You'll save time, avoid mistakes, and deliver a consistent client experience that leads to more positive reviews, repeat business, and referrals.
Plus, you get lifetime updates, so as the business changes, your system will stay current.
Grab Email Templates 101 at hustlehumblypodcast.com/templates and work smarter, not longer. Okay, but I do have some little bit of logistical questions.
Okay.
Before I get to that, let me just tell you, the highest ranked episodes of this show are all listing related.
I believe that.
They are the most listened to. They're probably the most revisited, if I have to guess. Let me just give you a super quick rundown of some of the ones that might play into what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Episode 189 is listing photos.
Yes.
That's right, people. For a whole 45 minutes, we talk about just listing photos.
Yes.
Okay. Number 162 is marketing a listing. So that's more of you're on the market. What are we doing to sell this thing? 148 is working with sellers from listing to closing.
Yes.
That is not what we're addressing today.
No.
Okay. However, 143, so 200 episodes ago,
It's a long time ago.
it was a long time ago. It's totally fine that we're revisiting this. Was working with sellers pre-listing prep.
That's a
Okay,
good
so
one.
there is a previous episode about pre-listing prep. 45, if you're like, well, what the heck do I do when I get there, is the listing interview. You know, this is what happens during the interview. And 42 is, does your MLS listing have good bones? So we literally talk about the words and what you put into the MLS listing.
Yes.
Okay, so now you know all the previous ones you might want to revisit. I have a question for you.
Okay.
How far in advance should sellers be prepping? Because you were like, oh, over a year. I don't want to talk to you.
I was just like, I'm so busy.
What would you tell a seller, though? How far in advance should you be prepping?
Like 4 to 6 months
Okay.
in most situations.
Because you can't tell because you haven't seen the house.
Yeah.
Once you go there, once you actually go there, then you could maybe be like, oh, you've got like a month of work. Or,
Right.
oh, I
Right.
don't know if you're going to be ready in 4 to 6.
Sure.
Okay. That makes sense.
Would you have said the same?
Probably, I would say 6 months,
Yeah.
right? I think you don't, very rarely do I come across a seller that calls and is ready
Mm-hmm.
within a month.
Sure.
And sometimes they're in duress and need to be ready. I'm like, you are going to have to stay up late and take some days off of work.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how you're going to do this.
Right.
But I'll tell you what you need to do. Now, on the other end of that is, how long do you think the average prep time most sellers actually spend? Like, you think it takes 4 to 6 months. How long do sellers think when you go there, they're going to have it ready in? They're like, oh, we'll be ready in.
in like 3 weeks.
Right.
That's what I always hear.
And you're like, okay, but it is actually 4 months from now
Right.
that you'll have this done.
Yes.
I also think that it's funny because if you're selling for any reason that's not deadline motivated,
Mm-hmm.
then it just drags on and, oh, I'll be ready in 3 weeks. And here's Alyssa. Hey, are you ready? No, not even close. Yep, didn't think so. Okay, bye.
Yes.
Like, I'll call back next month.
So, you know, in my Trello, I have my pre-listing
Mm-hmm.
and it just gets so long.
Yeah.
Because people reach out so early and it gets longer and longer. And then I think, I need to fix this, but I need to accept this.
Yeah.
I need to accept this.
Look, there are plenty of people out there who just want somebody in the pipeline.
Yeah.
The fact that your list is getting longer. Now, at some point, I guess you have to be like, hey, can I help you
Yeah.
find a painter or
Mhm.
a junk hauler offer or something? Like, we need to do something. Or maybe you don't really want to move.
Right.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about in some of the lists or checklists we have, or even when you're just talking to a seller, there are some things you cannot do 4 to 6 months out. Like,
Right.
please don't pressure wash your driveway.
Mm-mm.
Please do not mulch your flower beds because in 6 months, it'll look like you never did it.
Never.
So there are things that I think probably interior, most everything holds, right?
Yeah.
It's that exterior stuff you really have to save for the 30 days out,
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks out.
Yeah.
4 months, too much. Is there anything else you can think of that is okay to do 6 months out, or would be like ooh, don't do that?
I'm usually with you I tell them anything outside, don't even have that on your radar right now. We need to focus on the inside, tidying closets. And this is also when I like to remind them that phase 1 of getting your house ready for the market is also phase 1 of moving.
Yes.
Because once we get an offer, you only have about 15 to 20 days to get the house completely empty.
yeah.
Because the first few days, they're going to have their due diligence and their inspections and things are fragile.
Mhm.
So if it's not coming with you to the next house, let's start donating things,
Yeah.
tossing, cleaning out closets. Like I do like when they start extra early
Yeah.
because I don't feel bad giving them that.
No.
I just went on a listing appointment where they maybe called me too late. Like I'm like,
Oh.
"Ooh, you need to be on the market when?"
Oh no.
And I felt bad adding those extra things like,
Oh no.
really cleaning out the closet.
They were like,
and I
eh.
told them, but I'm like, I know, but it has to be done,
Oh,
these little
gosh.
things.
Right.
So when they have more time, I think they like a good checklist and getting
Yeah.
it done. They can do some of the extra things.
Right. Do this many months out. Do this many months out. Okay. I think also this brings up a good point. When a seller approaches you that wants to, here are my air quotes, test the market,
Oh,
and they're not committed to moving, then they don't want to do any of the cleanup and the prep because they're
Right.
like, well, if I can't get my price, I'll just stay. That's not a legitimate client.
do you get that a lot?
Back in the day, I feel like.
Yeah.
Depends on the market.
Right.
When the market gets hot, I feel like you get that more often. Like,
Mhm.
oh, well, if I can make X,
Right.
I'll sell, but I don't really want to get it ready.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would fly at all now
No.
because you'd have to be ready and
Yes.
prepared to move.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder too, if does that come up a little bit now with people who are like, well, I need to buy something else. And if I can't find it, I won't sell.
Right.
So it's sort of like you might end up staying in your house.
You might.
You just have to treat it like you're going to move.
I know.
You have to fully commit if you're
Mhm.
going to get it ready and be in the best condition
Yeah.
to sell it. Okay. When do you typically go for a pre-listing appointment? Is it different with everyone? Are you changing your tune now that you've decided to shift this mindset?
I feel like this mindset has sort of comes and goes with how busy I am.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind going, but if I'm just like slammed and someone's like, in a year, I don't know, I'm like, oh. But I think every situation has been different.
Yeah.
And these, like, my most recent one, I keep thinking about, they're not going to be ready for like 6 months or so. They reached out to me about 3 months ago.
Okay.
And I basically said, and they told me how far out they were. I said, okay, well, we definitely need to know where you're going to be going.
Yeah.
So we need to talk to a lender. We need to work on that side as well. I said, why don't you talk to the lender, see what budget would be for new house, see if you have to be contingent,
Mm-hmm.
and then let me know and we'll get a game plan together.
Okay.
So that's sort of I like to try to find a way to put the ball back in their court.
Yeah. Well, like these are things you have to do anyway.
Yeah. And I didn't hear from them for over a month. And so I'm reaching out. I'm like, hey, wanted to see, hey, we've been so busy with, kid baseball and we haven't even talked to the lender yet. And, we'll let you. I'm like, yeah, no worries. You reached out to me. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to make sure you weren't waiting on me.
Right.
And they're like, no, we're fine. And then like another month passes and I check in and same thing. And then another month passes. And then they were like, I think you just need to come to the house. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay, I can do that, and it was definitely not ready at all.
Well, this brings up my next question. What do you expect as the agent to have done when you go to that appointment?
Well, when I was really, really busy, I was very strict. Like during COVID, I was very strict on using the pre-listing appointment email
Mm-hmm.
that basically said, here is a checklist guide. And I still use it.
Yeah.
But it's not as, during COVID, I made it sort of a non-negotiable.
Like you had to be done with your checklist
Like,
and
hey,
then I'll come over.
when you get to a good stopping point with the attached checklist for photos, let me know. And then I can come by and do a walkthrough to see what we need to do for photos.
Yeah.
And I've been using that for years and it still goes really well.
Yeah.
But what I'm finding lately is that the checklist is good,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of the people I'm working with have been in their house a long time. My 2 most recent listing appointments got me there.
Okay.
And I didn't want to go.
Right.
And when I left, I went, they needed that.
Yeah. Okay.
They needed that. They
didn't even know how to take the
they
pre-list
didn't know how
and
to start.
Yeah.
It's not like they're hoarders or anything.
Right.
But they have lived in these homes for a very long time.
Right.
And so then I started being like, okay, Alyssa, we need to, when they call, and it's not COVID anymore.
Yeah. Like,
Take a breath, go to their
Mhm.
house, form the relationship, give them the checklist. So,
okay. I have always, because I love before and afters.
Yes.
That's like my favorite thing. Not that I'm always taking the photo. I just love to experience it
Yes.
myself. I want to experience every before and after. So if I get a listing call me and they're like, well, we're not ready yet. We need to do this and that. We're not sure what to do. I'm like, can I come?
Yeah.
I want to see it in the most disarray, like before anything has been done, because I want to see the full like transformation at the end. Like, wow, can you believe all the work you did? And now it's sort of like, look at us. We're in it together. We're a team. We both talked about it when it was way over here. And now you did all this hard work. And now we're way over here and you sold it. You've done it. So I like to go. I like to go early. Also, I always, I think, thought the sooner you see that person and they feel like that's my agent, the better. Right?
For sure.
So the sooner you're in there, the better it is. But I also have to tell them because sometimes they're very reluctant. And I'm not forcing my way in there by any means. If they're like, oh, it's going to take us a month and then we'll have you. I'm like, okay, great. But I have to tell them, even when I show up, I'm not here to judge you.
Right.
I'm not a showing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not market ready. That's not what's happening here. And I have to tell them that on the phone also. Like, it's because they'll be hesitant and they'll be like, either they want you to come or they don't want you to come. There's no in between, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we really need you to come. We can't make any decisions without you. Or it's like, oh, I really don't want you to see it. It's so bad. And I'll be like, look, just let me come. Maybe it's not as bad as you think it is. But either way, I'm not going to judge you and your stuff. But you have to kind of help them feel better about it.
I agree with you that it's like I actually need to get back into the mindset of sooner the better. Inviting myself in when they mention it, like, yeah, let's do it. How's this weekend?
Yeah.
And just making it happen because that's who was in front of them in that moment. But 3 months later, it could be another agent.
They could run into anyone at school.
Yes.
Or Aunt Susie or whoever. Oh, I just sold my house. I had a great agent. Oh, okay, really? Oh, they helped me with all my staging. Oh, that's what I need.
Right.
Okay, well, I'll send you their name. And there you are.
Yeah.
Looking like a chump.
I find that I can think of one listing in particular during a busy time that I think I lost because they asked me to come and I sent them the pre-listing email and was pretty adamant about I'm not coming until you're at a good stopping point. And they listed it with somebody else. Like I never heard back from them. To be honest, I didn't follow up with them.
Yeah.
I just sort of was like,
but they didn't want to follow your rules at the time.
No. So it could have been a blessing,
Who's to say? Maybe they were like, we aren't going to prep this house.
No, right. Like, we're not doing any of this. No. I don't know how it went. Like, I don't know anything about it.
A checklist? No, thank you.
Right. Not everybody's a checklist person.
Well, some people think that agents are some sort of miracle workers that just have to show up and do certain special marketing.
Yes.
And then the house will sell. Right. They have to do no work. That's not how it works. I also get so beyond frustrated when I have a client who wants to list and they're like, oh, we've been prepping for so long. I have no clue. And they're like, we paid to get this $25,000 patio cover.
No.
Now the house is going to sell for $25,000 more dollars. And I have to be the bearer of the bad news that is just not how renovations work.
No.
And there is nothing worse than sellers who are dumping unnecessary money into their house thinking that's what they have to do to sell.
Yeah.
Like, who told you to do that? I would love nothing more than you to even just call me and be like, hey, we're thinking about doing this, but we're planning to sell in 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Do you think it's worth it? Everyone should almost be forced to do that.
Right. Run it by for resale purposes.
Yeah. Who double-checked what you were doing in your house before you did it?
Yeah.
Especially if you make any sort of like renovation or alteration that, like, let's say remove a bedroom.
Right.
Or make something that used to be a living area outside, like just something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Fill in the pool.
Don't do that.
Like, like, what have you done?
Right.
What have you done? So I think that I want them to contact me with all those things, but the general public doesn't think like that.
No.
So you really have to sort of put that message out there.
Yeah.
For your clients.
Now that pre-listing email has a few things. One of them is the photo checklist to help guide them prepping your house for photos. But there has been times where I've had people be like, I probably need to call you. I'm not sure. Our house is a wreck. And I'm like, they're not asking me to come. And I just say, well, I do have a little checklist for guidance if you want me to send it to you. And they're like, yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
And so sometimes I'll just, use that by itself and email it to them and say,
Mhm.
look, this is just a checklist I made to help give people guidance and direction. And then they're like, okay. And now
Yeah.
so use that attachment. It can be in an email all by itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that.
Mhm.
How many times do you show up to a listing before, regardless of how far out it was?
Yeah.
How many times do you go to the listing before it hits the market?
Before it hits the market,
Yes.
100% of the time.
No, how many times? Are you visiting the same house 3 times, 1 time, 2 times, 10
how
times?
many? At least twice, maybe 3 times. But
Okay.
usually twice.
How did those fall out? Like once in the beginning?
One's in the beginning, we get our game plan together, and then
Mhm.
like usually 6 to 8 weeks later, I'm there for a final walkthrough before photos.
How far in advance of photos is that? Like, are photos the next day? Are they 3 days away?
Once
Are
I
they
go on the second appointment for the
Uh-huh.
walkthrough, if it's ready, I'll schedule photos within a few days.
Okay. Okay. Have you had any sellers who wanted you to come every week and check on it?
No, I did have a situation with an older couple who they weren't hoarders of garbage and things, but I've never been in a house with more picture frames.
Oh, really?
And more, I think any photo they've ever taken
Was framed?
was framed.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And then they had she collected cookie jars, like
Mhm.
huge cookie jars. And they were everywhere. And I just was like, here's what we're going to do. All I'm going to tell you to do today is to wrap and pack up all of your picture frames in cookie jars.
Okay.
I said they're
Step 1.
very valuable.
Mhm.
It's going to take time to pack them so they
Okay.
don't break. When you're done with that, call me and
Okay.
I'll come back. And
Mhm.
then we will see what our next steps will be. And I think even they appreciated that.
Like we can't swallow this. How do you eat an elephant? Was the vibe?
Yes, for
Okay.
sure. They were overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. And I went back the second time and was like, okay, I can see some walls. I
Okay.
see some countertops. They're very pretty. I
Right,
hadn't really
okay.
noticed them before. And then we just I was there the second time much longer. The
Yeah.
first time was pretty quick. The second time I was like probably there for close to 2 hours, just helping them make a list. They
Yeah.
were just really struggling with parting with their things. I'm like, they're not going anywhere.
You
They're
take
just
them
going in
along.
storage,
Yeah.
until your next house.
Yeah.
So I went back to that house several times over the course of about 18 months.
Okay.
She was also real sweet and loved me and would just be like, can you just come take a look at it, every now and then. So
Sure.
I did. And well,
Oh no.
then I worked with her for 18 months.
I don't even want to hear the end of it.
It's actually a good story.
Okay, thank God.
She ended up, when we were towards the end, I was like, I think you're at the point where you just have to get a storage unit.
Okay.
Like you're just gonna have. She's like, okay, I know. So they did. So then I'm thinking but I said, but hey, next time you call me, I think you're gonna be ready for photos.
Okay.
I was like, look at all this time that's passed. So she calls me a few months later and she's like, can you come over? I'm like, yes, sure. Are you ready for me to bring like the listing paperwork? She's like, not quite. I'm like, okay. So I just show up and I walk in and the house is pristine.
Okay.
It is so clean and cute and homey. And she made us coffee.
Okay.
And I sit down at the breakfast table with her and I'm like, it looks amazing. And she's like, yeah, she looks like sad or nervous. And I'm like, what's the matter? And she said, I have some news that I'm just sort of afraid to
She
tell
decided
you.
she loved it instead of listed it.
Yes.
She stayed.
She decided to stay.
She's like, you know what? It just turns out I had too much junk in here.
Yes. And she said, you've worked so hard and I just feel awful. I was like, do not. I said, this is like the happiest day for me that I helped you do this.
Wow.
And I got to see the whole transformation. She said, my daughter doesn't love for me to keep my granddaughter here because my house always stressed her out, she said. She said she can't even see the couch, can't even see the kitchen counters. Her room, the guest room, is so full of all my stuff. So
Oh.
anytime I wanted to spend time with my granddaughter, I always had to go to my daughter's house.
Okay.
And it was just really hard. And she said, it's been a strain on our relationship. And I knew that it was house related, but just didn't realize like how bad it was affecting her.
Wow.
So she said, I was cleaning out the closet you told me to clean out. And I messaged my daughter and
Mhm.
said, hey, I have some boxes of your old dresses and things. Like, can you come get them? And she said, anytime we have family dinner, we go to my daughter's. Anytime when
she hadn't been there,
she-
basically.
Right. She said, Alyssa, she walked in and got emotional and was like, Mom, it looks amazing in here. Like, and she was like, Alyssa, she stayed for like an hour and I made tea and we just talked and went through her box together. And she just kept saying, Mom, I can't believe you've like gotten rid of all this stuff. And I said, this is like making me emotional. This is the best story ever. I said, so what about your storage unit? And she said, well, I think I'm just going to have to pay for it till I die.
She's like, I don't want to get rid of those things.
She's like,
It was full of cookie jars and
and photos, I guess,
Oh,
and
wow.
some furniture and quilts galore. And she was like,
she's going to die and her daughter's going to be like,
no, here's all the stuff.
it's all in here.
And she was just like, I don't want to open it and go through it
Right now.
because then I would just keep it all. And I thought, well, I'll just look at it as like a mental health fee.
It's probably true, though, because
Yes.
I was going to say that is definitely what was going on with her daughter, though.
Yes.
She mentally could not deal with the clutter.
Right. And leaving her little tiny 2-year-old there. Like,
Well, yeah,
it was too
just,
stressful.
I mean, cookie jars, that feels dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. They were up mostly, but still, it was a big job. And again, even when it was full, her house was
Wow.
very clean, like a collector of fine items.
Amazing.
So there's many a times. I also think that the reason my mindset is starting to get a little bit better now is being able to, like the episode we did recently, that now I can have something signed.
Well, great, because that was my next question.
Yes. Have you ever stared at a blinking cursor trying to write an email to a client and thought, why is this so hard?
That's why we created Email Templates, a series of emails written for you by us, real agents, not AI.
You'll have an email to send your client at each part of the process, so they have all the information they need when they need it.
And you answer their questions before they even have time to ask.
The template package comes with 12 buyer and 13 seller templates, plus 6 supporting attachment documents.
You'll save time, avoid mistakes, and deliver a consistent client experience that leads to more positive reviews, repeat business, and referrals.
Plus, you get lifetime updates, so as the business changes, your system will stay current.
Grab Email Templates 101 at hustlehumblypodcast.com/templates and work smarter, not longer. How do you protect yourself as an agent if you start putting so much time and effort into helping a seller prepare?
And I think that's actually where the aversion began,
Yeah.
because I was getting burned.
Well, you can't spend your time on something you won't ever make money on.
Right. Like, I was spending so much time at houses so early
Yeah.
that within 6 to 8 months, of course, a neighbor or somebody's going to hear about the house
Yeah.
or see her prepping or write her a letter. And then the listing is gone and you never get to see anything for your labor. So now, and again, we actually just got an email from one of our listeners asking me to send them what I have my sellers sign before listing.
Yeah.
And my response was, every broker is going to be completely different.
Yeah.
My broker provides a form. It's a private form for my office, so I can't, share it. But get with your broker on getting something to sign. Call it a commitment letter.
Yeah.
Like, hey, while you're in the prepping stages. This just shows that you are officially hiring me to be your agent.
Yeah.
When we get closer, we will do the listing paperwork. However you want to make that look for
Yeah.
you and your broker.
What does yours say? Is it the listing? It just has some words that say it's like pre-market or
Yes,
like what?
It's like the 3-phase marketing agreement where it just
Okay.
says, right now, we're just signing something. It is not going to be marketed or advertised at all. It will be like in a database in my office that if somebody has questions about it, they can reach out to me
Yeah.
and I can talk about your house,
Mhm.
but we are definitely not marketing it anywhere right now. So I think having them sign something
Yeah.
is just, it's a commitment.
'Cause
It
you're
just
doing
makes
the
them
work.
feel, yes.
You're now doing the work.
I went on a listing appointment last year and I just knew I was going to get it. She pretty much said as much.
Yeah.
And she just let me know that the agent who she told me she was not going to use,
Mhm.
she is going to use because they live in the neighborhood. And I'm just really bummed out because I have been checking in with her very regularly. I did do a consultation
Okay.
where we walked through. It's hard when you're there
Mhm.
on the listing appointment. You don't know for sure if they're going to hire you. And they're like, well, can we just walk through and you tell me what to do now?
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I had this question a lot in my class because I talk about the listing appointment and what I do. And when I walk in the front door, that's the first thing we do. Take me through your house.
Yeah.
I need to see the whole thing. And I'm going to jot down some notes as we go. And if you changed anything or did any maintenance or renovations, or you want to tell me your favorite thing about whatever we're walking through, I'm going to write a note. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm writing it all down.
Okay.
I'm also going to write down my staging notes. And then we walk and we walk. And now look, yes, in some bedrooms, will they be like, do I need to move this bed? And will I say, yeah, it probably needs to be over there? Perhaps. But I'm also writing it so I remember later to make sure they do the things I need them to do. When we get to the end of the tour and we sit down at the dining room table, I don't then tell them every single thing that I think they need to do to their house.
Sure.
I go through my listing presentation. There is a list of staging tips. And I say, look, I have your specific staging list of what I think you need to do for this house written down. If I know they're interviewing someone else, I just say, I will send them to you typed up in an email once you decide to work with me.
Perfect.
Then they're like, I need to know the staging tips, right? Like
Yeah.
they want to know. But you can't hold them all back. You have to also have some value.
Yes.
So you've got, I'd be like, maybe I'll mention one or two things. I'm like, but I have a full list and I'll send it to you once you decide we're going to work together.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I handle it. I also handle listing appointments where I know that there's another agent possibly being interviewed. I just treat it as if I have the listing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it like, well, after you talk to Susan.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll schedule photos. This is how showings go. This is what we'll do. Of
Mhm.
course, we talk about the market report and the price and all of this stuff. Does sometimes it bite you in the butt?
Yes.
Yes, but it is sort of the nature of the beast. If you don't show your value at all, they might choose the other person.
Yeah, who is so valuable.
So that's kind of, I think the staging stuff and the prep stuff is the stuff that I point out that I'm holding back.
Yes.
And I will tell you once you hire me.
Right, that's a good point.
Is the only way I know how to handle it. What do you do?
I think it just depends if I'm on my A game or not.
Yeah. Like if you know they're interviewing other agents.
I knew this lady was interviewing other agents, but she was so comfortable with me and even said that she didn't really, I didn't really want to use this agent, but she did reach out to me and she lives in the neighborhood, but I think
Mhm.
she's retiring and I don't think she's this. So she was very, also I went like 5 months ago
Yeah.
and I have been checking in and she replies and says,
she's always
this is what I'm doing. This
Okay.
is how it's going. And then she said, after my son's wedding. And so I'm like, okay. So I message her in January and I'm like, how was your son's wedding? Did you survive? Was it beautiful? And she's like, yes. Oh my gosh, it was lovely. And listen, I'm so sorry to tell you. And I'm just like, when did you make this decision?
What did you respond with?
I just said, wow, okay. I know you weren't sure about.
Did you ask her if there was something you could have done differently?
I'm not on my A game, Katie.
You were just like, bye.
No, I just was like,
You're just like, good luck.
I said, I know that was a tough decision for you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kept it very brief because I should have taken a breath and responded later and said something a little more. Because she said, I was very impressed with your presentation and I'm so thankful for all your vendors that you gave me.
Yeah, she's been using all your stuff.
Right. And when I met her in person, it was before we had our in-office.
It was different, the process.
I didn't have that.
Okay, well, here's my next question. Now reflecting on your response, what would you have changed? Anything? Would you have fought for it at all? Or was she already
I don't
like,
really
it's
know
happening?
what that looks like. I kind of wish I would have fought for it because I love the house.
And you did the work.
I know. I loved this house. This house is going to sell so well.
In her message, she said what?
She said,
oh, hey, sorry.
Yeah.
I decided to use the agent because she's in the neighborhood?
Because she lives in the neighborhood. Period.
Is it a big neighborhood? Oh, it's a pretty big neighborhood.
Yeah, but a lot of agents live in that
A lot of agents do live in the neighborhood.
And like, and my thought was too, if your requirement is to have an agent that lives in the neighborhood, there are better agents that live in the neighborhood.
I can refer you to someone else.
That's kind of how I felt. Maybe I should have responded with that.
Listen, if you need a neighborhood agent, I have a great one.
I don't live in there, but I can tell you there are better ones. Like, why would you make your choice this way?
It is a terrible way to make a choice. I do think you might have let that one go a little too easy after all the work. You'd have been like, okay, bye. Good luck. I hope that things go well. That is hilarious. But sometimes when we're caught off guard, we just are like, fine, okay.
I was just so aggravated. Like, you could have put me out of my misery months ago.
I know. Like, what made her change her mind then?
Maybe said agent was at the wedding. Maybe it's like a family friend.
I mean, you know what? Sometimes.
Literally, we talked about her son's wedding coming up. We talked about all these things. We talked about who she had coming. And then it was like, how was the wedding? The wedding was great. And by the way, I'm so sorry.
I can't work with you.
I have to use this agent. I think she's a friend that was at the wedding.
I mean, look, this is what it is.
Yeah.
We can't control that. I might have put an extra sentence in the reply, but
yeah, I could have.
Just, is there anything I could have done differently?
Yeah.
I'm so familiar with your neighborhood. I know I don't live there, but I would treat it as if I did. Something.
Gosh darn it.
It's okay. Look, it's fine. We're going to move on. I just have another couple of quick stories about listing prep, especially when you show up. I find that this is common with heirs to a property and you get there and the house has not been touched or taken care of maybe in 20, 30 years. Maybe the people lived there 40 years. It was okay for a while and then they got older and they couldn't maintain it, whatever. Or it's just out of date. It's just been the same way for the whole time. And there's typically no mortgage, right?
Yeah.
So these people are just like, oh, we just want to sell it, make the most money. I had one incident where I showed up and the colors in this house were so wild. Like blue light fixtures and yellow walls. And I'm like, look, this is a pretty desirable location. Now we're talking about the difference between a $220,000 house and a $300,000 house. I'm like, do you want to sell it for low 200s or do you want to paint and change out a fixture or two and get 300? And they were like, I don't know. We're cleaning it up. There was obviously a lot of stuff to get out. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what I would recommend. And if you've got in the estate or just in your working capital, I don't even think this is going to take $10,000.
Sure.
At least have the painter come in and look. I'm not telling you to look. The bathrooms are not updated, but there's just levels, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you have to do a full-on renovation for every house that hits the market.
Right.
So they were like, okay, fine, we'll do it. I'm like, and also these shutters, these orange shutters, we have to change these.
It's got to go.
So I went there the first time. I told them all that. The heirs come together and they're like, okay, fine. There's always one that's resistant, one that's okay. Somebody's in charge. Somebody doesn't want to listen, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, okay, we're going to do it. I give them my painter. I give them my vendor list. I tell them what kind of light fixtures to get, the whole thing. I get my broker who does home design because I hate picking an exterior color because the bricks were kind of orange. I'm like, I don't know what color shutter I need. So I get her to come over. We pick a shutter color. It's a nice light neutral color. Give them a door color. It's a pretty blue or something. I don't remember. It's lovely. So they're like, okay, fine. They paint the shutters. They paint the door. And one of the siblings is so upset about the shutter color. This can't be right. This doesn't look good. La, 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 la. And I'm just like, okay, I didn't respond right away. Let's just say it was a Friday. The heir that I was in contact with, I was like, okay, well, I'll drive by and look because I hadn't seen it painted. But I'm not driving by till Monday. Let's say it was Friday. Okay, great, no problem. They're not upset with me. By the time Monday rolls around, they text back. They've come by again and they've changed their mind. It looks great. And I was just like,
Okay.
okie dokie. Then we list it, and guess what? Sold. 4 days on the market, $300,000. I'm like,
whoa.
They had spent less than 10.
Wow.
I'm like, it is worth it if you have the means.
Yes.
You're either letting someone else do the work for less and make the equity, or you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an interesting, because there will be pushback.
Yes.
Whether sellers live there or not, they're not always going to just be like, oh, these are your recommendations. I will do them all.
Yeah.
Flip of the coin, I had a seller who was living in the house. And I'm like, you got to paint this thing. You got to paint all of it. This, these cabinets, this. Here's a nice neutral alabaster.
Yeah.
It's basically a white, right?
Mm-hmm.
After he painted, he was so mad. It looks like I'm living in a hospital. And I was like, well, you're not going to be living there anymore.
Right.
So who cares?
Not your house.
But he was still prepping some other stuff. And then he hired someone else. He did all of my staging tips and used my price and did not hire me.
That's
and I'm
awful.
like, are you not hiring me because you're mad that you don't like the house, but you... What?
How did that conversation go when you found out?
I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
And I should have known from the jump. He was toying with being a for sale by owner.
Okay.
Never trust these people
Sure.
because they don't care about you and your opinion and your professionalism. They only care about the bottom line.
Yeah.
So I give them all of my best work, right? I tell you how to stage, what to do. Here are the colors. Here are my vendors. Here's your price. It's going to be so great. I love this neighborhood. I sell lots in here. And then it's going to take a few months to do whatever. And then all of a sudden he's emailing me, we've decided to go with a discount brokerage.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, you mean the kind that wasn't going to do any of the stuff I've already done
None
for
of
you?
that stuff. None.
Please take no offense. You did a great job and it's just business.
And that's where I think it's going to be tricky. Like if they're in the trenches, ready to really start prepping their house to get ready for photos. This isn't, maybe it is even 6 months away, but they are actually on a 6-month deadline. Not, we'll see in 6 months and then it turns into 8 and 12 and, you know. But if they're really far out, like this last people that are like, we might be moving in like a year, but we need to do some stuff. We don't know. Like, I can't get them to sign anything.
I mean, I feel like that's the definition of a cold, lukewarm at best lead.
Yes.
This is not warm or hot.
It's like a buyer looky-loo before buyer rep agreements.
Yes. Yeah. This is the nature of the beast.
Yes. There is no 100% protection.
No, but you know what? Karma, there is real estate karma.
There is.
Because on the flip side, I had a client, heirs. The house has not been changed in 30 years. I'm like, oh, shoot. I was thinking this house was going to be like 350, but when I get here, I'm like, this is a hard 250. Because this is not, because the neighborhood's all different levels of renovations. I'm like, this is no renovation.
Yeah.
Beautiful house, a lovely lot, in great condition, but blue carpet in the living room.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Okay.
So I'm like, this isn't going to work. So I'm like, look, if you can do it, you do these renovations, I think they're going to cost you, let's say, $25,000, but you're going to make another $75,000. So
sure.
You got 4 heirs. What do you want to do? They're like, we'll do the renovations. And I kind of had to help, like go open doors and let people in, do this, that, and the other, send the people, help them pick tile, help them pick paint. When they were done, they said, I told this one before. Okay, well, bad news. We really love it. So we actually one of the 4 heirs wanted to buy it from the other heirs and live there.
Oh my gosh. After you fixed it up.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, well, I understand. And they're like, but we still want to pay you and we want you to represent us. I dual agent. I represented one as the buyer and all as the sellers. And they were pleased as punch and paid a full commission.
That's amazing.
On both sides.
Look at that.
And they were so happy.
Yes.
And I was
and
so
they
happy.
wanted the professional representation.
And the real estate gods rejoiced.
Yes.
They were like, you earned this.
Oh my gosh.
So you just never know.
Yeah.
But it is hard when you're just putting yourself out there and then you're like, I don't know if you're going to do the work. I don't know if you're going to hire me when you're done. I don't know if you're going to even sell the house.
I mean, I'm almost 15 years in and I still have times where I struggle with this.
Yeah.
It never gets all the way easier.
No.
And I will say, every time I dread going to an appointment, when I'm in the car leaving, I'm so glad I went. And
yes, because you like the relationship part.
I do.
You want to meet the people and hear
Yeah.
about their house.
Mhm.
That's the fun part.
Right.
I know. Okay, I hope this helped you.
It did.
Okay, good.
It did.
Lastly, if anyone needs our staging prep list,
Mm-hmm.
it is hustlehumblypodcast.com/staging.
That
Okay?
one's a freebie?
That one's also in the freebie page. Yeah.
Oh,
But that is
cool.
a freebie.
That's awesome.
Free.
Free for you.
Use it with your sellers.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, that's it. I don't think we have a toast today.
Okay.
Okay, just a reminder, everyone. Our new mission is to get, if you are listening to this as a buyer or seller or a human that is not a realtor, but you would like to toast to a realtor,
We wanna hear
This is
it.
what I want to hear now.
Yeah.
But also, if you're a realtor to realtor, a realtor to your mentor, a realtor to anyone, anyone's welcome to send a toast.
Yeah.
But our new mission is to hear from the non-realtor.
We just had a non-agent send us a toast.
It's so fun.
and it was awesome.
yeah, it's so fun. Okay, so that's it.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. Wait, before you go, if you enjoyed this episode and if we brought you value, take a minute to rate the show, leave a review, or drop a comment.
We are giving away our best stuff for free. Find it at hustlehumblypodcast.com/freebies.
We'd also love to see you in Hustle Humbly community. Join us there at hustlehumblypodcast.com/membership.
We love chatting with you in our DMs. Find us on social media at Hustle Humbly Podcast and say hello.
If you have an episode topic or someone you'd like to toast on the show, please email us at teen@hustlehumblypodcast.com.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Hustle Humbly Podcast. See you next week.